day, and thanks for the time allowing us to present a service contract renewal proposal with the current supplier, Backyard Cleaning Service Company Limited. And this is following will be our agenda. First of all, we'll talk about some backgrounds and then our objectives and the service group, and then some more contract terms and conditions and how we are going to negotiate. Finally comes to our summary and conclusions. For the background about the proposal, currently we are looking for a contract renewal for the cleaning and waste management service at Good Wealth Building, one of the many properties that we EPM are managing in Hong Kong. And Good Wealth Building is actually a commercial building with event space available. Under the contract with landlord, we need to maintain routine operations and try our very best to make it profitable. The existing contract will be ending with current service provider in half a year. Existing monthly expenses will be 400,000 Hong Kong dollars. The expenses for this item has been approaching 20% of the operation expenses last fiscal year. The payment terms now will be within 28 days after receipt of payment applications. Task force has been then set up for the contract renewal process with the current service provider. We prefer to have contract renewal because of the satisfactory performance over the 4 years, but we also accept new service provider if eventually Backyard cannot reach our LAA. The proposal requires approval from CEO per the procurement guidelines, so here we are. A short introduction to our task force. We have housekeeping, we have legal teams, and we have procurement teams members as representatives. For the roadmaps, from now on, we plan to have the whole process end by 2021 March. Expectation on the service scope. We expect the current service provider to maintain current service scope, and with additionally about some more special measures to tackle COVID-19, some more service for the events, and some value-add services for our office tenants as a new source of income, further differentiate us with other competitors in the market. On the business side, we expect increase in property occupancy rates, target at 85% this year. And the new value-add service echoes our company mission that to be hassle-free service partner with our customers, further enhance the tenants' engagement with us. And we wish to increase the satisfaction, in particularly in the cleaning and sanitation aspects. Now I will pass to Ellie to talk more about the details of our requirements.
The following the plan will list out our general requirement including the equipment and then the areas to be clean and also the duration. So in general, cleaning we focus on fulfilling the customer need and also the expectation, the respond to any emergency case, and then to resolve complaints, and also the cleaning quality. The overall quality service, we will focus on the flexibility, the cleaning frequency, and also the service speed. So we generally have the cleaning include the position in toilet cleaning, public area and office space. We also need the waste collector to operation during the some specific period, maybe one in morning and then one session at the evening to collect the waste and then to delivery to the specific place, and also the technical cleaning service to operate the mechanical equipment for the scheduled work cleaning and also at height. And then we will also have some unscheduled service, including the emergency cleaning, such as the any broken glass or any damage during maybe the office or in public area, and then some one-time work which mainly available in the non-peak season, like the cleaning job. So additional labor available for a specific period. Well, we can choose either from the permanent workers from the service provider, or we cooperate with other third party for some casual workers, including the outdoor cleaning, the outdoor window cleaning, and also the floor restoration, maybe once or twice a year. And then also the indoor home cleaning, including the sanitation, twice a year, and also the cleaning in floor cleaning, and then the carpet cleaning. And for the equipment, the service provider shall provide, but not limited to provide the below equipment, all the toilet consumables and cleaning equipment, the mechanical equipment in brand new condition from the comment state of the agreement, and also available for use on the site continually during the term, and also should have sufficient quantity supply. Those equipment should be certified by the safety operation. We may require the equipment with special use that can fulfill the service. So for this part, the special equipment should be approved by our procurement team. And also the maintenance include but not limited to adding, removing, and replacing. We will have the performance management, including the monthly report and meeting. All activities will be recorded down, and then the performance against the service level in such as the the details by the end of the month, and then any difficulties while they during the activities. Also, if the service fails to comply with any of the service level, we may request to check and explain within 5 days of receiving the notice, and then also to amend and propose a plan for improvement that promised this situation will not occur again. And also the service provider are responsible for any reasonable cost incurred for this plan. So if the service provider fails to meet our requirement, and we will forward this case to procurement team and also our legal team to deal with it. So we also have a monitoring system for internal use to ensure the overall quality is maintained to acceptable standard. All the activity records, any customer perception surveys, our random checking or inspection, data entry, complaint log, and any questionnaires to the workers to find out any difficulties or any improvement we can do. So and then we will pass to Stephen for the terms and condition introduction.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Eddie. The coming part is about the terms and conditions for our contract. And these, in our contract, there are a total 15 major terms to be covered. And I will go through part of it subsequently. Okay, for the objective of the contract, the service provider is to provide a clean service to our company. And this contract is to codify all the essential elements for this business and transaction. And this contract is to comply, ensure both parties to comply with all the terms agreed. And this contract will last for 2 years, and it will commence from 1st of July to 13th of June in 2023. And the contract may be extended to another 2 years, subject to the final discretion of our company. And this contract is firm fixed price contract, and the price detail will be discussed or negotiated by our procurement team with service provider separately. And for the obligation of the service provider, they must meet our general requirement. They need to provide a management plan, performance management, equipment, and supplies. Most importantly, they are not allowed to have competition with our company outside. Also, they are not allowed to disclose any of our confidential information. And for the obligation of our company, we need to provide the basic resources to the service provider. For example, we need to provide them the electricity, water, and lighting. But on the other hand, the service provider need to make good use of the resources and minimize the resources as far as possible to avoid waste. And the service provider is allowed to connect all the equipment to our utility points as designated. And for the role and responsibility of the service provider, and they need to provide us all the labor, supervision, management, and services to our company. And their services include 24 hours per day, 7 days per week. And it will include the means of, for the measurement of performance and quality. We will set the KPI for the continuous improvement. Lastly, we will include the agreed exit break option. And our company may reserve the right to terminate the contract once the service provider breach our contract and cannot comply with all the service level we agreed before. So that's the end of my part, and I will pass to Mabel to further talk about the dispute resolution and ADR in detail.
Thank you, Stephen. In this contract, we will follow the Hong Kong law, then the language is English. And it is really critical to have the dispute handling clauses in the contract. In the contract, we will have negotiation, mediation, and litigation. For mediation, we will follow the mediation ordinance of HKIAC, and the language will be English. So next slide. Why do we have this approach? Because we want to have a collaborating strategy. And in order to achieve a win-win result, on one hand, we would like to maintain the relationship. And on the other hand, we want to maximize both parties' outcome and result. Given that this contract, the complexity and the uncertainties are low, and there's not much time pressure. So when facing a dispute, for next slide, please. When facing a dispute, how do we handle? First of all, we will conduct a communication with the counterparty. If it fails, then we will go for negotiation. And if the negotiation fails again, we have no way but seek for help from third party. So we have mediation and litigation here. We strongly prefer mediation to litigation because mediation is more flexible, cost-effective, and less time-consuming. And mediation is conducted in a private process. It will avoid leaking some sensitive, confidential company information to the public. And mediation also enjoy a high success rate. It's nearly 85%. And more importantly, mediation uphold the win-win mentality that we can help to maintain the relationship with the counterparties. And that's also the reason why we don't choose arbitration, because arbitration will bring win-lose result. And of course, we will reserve the right to have litigation. And because we may face some serious justice disputes and intolerable moral differences, etc. Next slide. So in the process of contract conception and creation, it will involve different parties. And first of all, we will strongly recommend that we can do the drafting because we can put more favorable terms in the contract. And next, at the same time, we will involve some internal discussion with the operation team and contract management team to ensure all the terms cover all the actual operation needs and meet the budget goals. And more importantly, we hope that it can align with our company structure, policy, system in place for future contract management. Thirdly, we will involve some internal discussion with the risk team and insurance team to identify all the potential risks and ensure the coverage is sufficient. And next, it's really important to get your approval from senior management under the governance. More importantly, we want to ensure that this project, this contract is on the right track and fulfill the company's strategic goals. And we may also need the external collaboration that the lawyer help to ensure that all our interests is safeguarded in legal perspective. And lastly, we will go through this contract with the procurement team to ensure that they fully understand this contract inside out, because they will be responsible to make the negotiation with the counterparty. And next, I will pass the time to the procurement team to share more about the negotiation.
Thank you, Mabel. My name is Morris, and I'm responsible for negotiation parts. We will organize a negotiation section with Virgil at our office, which is a collaborative negotiation, a constructive and interest-based negotiation, to make sure everyone leaves the table feeling they gain something after negotiation. In a negotiation, we will focusing to develop a long-term relationship with Virgil in the coming years. As we understand, relationship is very critical for contract management. We expect building a closer business relationship throughout the contract period in order to save the unnecessary costs such as dispute costs, litigation costs, etc. A fair deal between EPM and Virgil is crucial to build up a closer relationship. We will benchmark the market price, balancing the performance of Virgil to negotiate the best offer for EPM in order to achieve win-win situation between EPM and Virgil. And next, I would like to compare the negotiation between EPM and Virgil. We have nearly 30 properties managed by EPM, and some cleaning contract will expire soon. Virgil will have interest in it. So far, the year of 2020 is a tough year in Hong Kong. By contrast, we have business growth, we have good financial credit and payment record with Virgil, and we own the power of reward. This will be our chips on negotiation table. On the other hand, Virgil has 30 years experience in cleaning and with satisfactory cleaning performance at EPM in the past 4 years. They need a long-term high-well contract with stable income to retain employees to provide excellent service. Here is the agenda we will go through in the negotiation. Explain the contract scope, go through service level and quality, requirement on manpower, 4 years contract lump sum and provisional item price, potential risk and liabilities within the contract, termination clause and dispute resolution. In this part, I will go through negotiation item with our wants and alternatives. We prefer unit rates of cleaning service reduced 5% due to the expansion of business. If Virgil do not accept, the alternative will be the price changes follow Hong Kong CPI. We introduce new reward and penalty system this year. If Virgil can achieve higher KPI, say 90, we will provide extra reward. On the other hand, if Virgil perform with lower KPI, we will have penalty. The main purpose is to encourage Virgil employees to provide higher service standard and gain higher income. The alternative is we cancel the reward system and remain unchanged. We will also ask for 2 times, We will also ask for 2 times free office sanitation service per year. If Bergio does not accept, they can add the office sanitation service into provisional list with discount price. And we will ask Bergio to use environmental friendly product supplies with certificate. In alternative, we accept the use Bergio claimed the environmental friendly products. In the negotiation, factual negotiator will become from legal department, relational negotiator will become from housekeeping department, and procurement team will act as interpretive and logical negotiator. And now I will pass to my teammate Simon to focus in what if and what next.
So thank you, Morris. So this is Simon, also from the procurement team. So we are going to discuss what if the negotiation with Baguio does not go to where we wanted. So here are 3 different scenarios where we will say that this is not acceptable. First, if the supplier does not agree to a higher performance or the KPI set under the new contract, and that they prefer to maintain the existing cost with lower manpower and machines provided. And the next one will be the supplier, they refuse to sign the new contract due to maybe capacity of different other business concerns. And lastly, when the supplier requires much higher cost increase compared to the CPI set by our team. So under either of the above scenarios, we'll have to look for alternative solutions because they have already obviously crossed our bottom line. So there are 2 contingency plans that we have in place. The first one is to source for an alternative supplier who can provide the same service level and with the desired cost. But there will be a risk here because the Baguio is the market leader, so they can provide a stable performance, and also the cost from them will be relatively more stable. And if we are switching to another service supplier without, how should I put it, without the trial, then we will risk facing complaints from our tenants, and the overall satisfaction level will decrease. The second option is to hire some permanent or contract staff under the housekeeping team. And then we switch the whole process from outsourcing to insourcing. But the risk is obviously the higher cost because we will have to, there will be a huge amount of staff under our entity. So we will have to provide them with all the benefits, and also the MPF, etc. So here's the roadmap of the contingency plan. So if something goes wrong by the end of February, then we will have the contingency plans in place, and but we will have to squeeze the process. Either we go with another supplier or we hire internal staff. We will have to squeeze it and make sure that we will have a confirmed plan by the end of June. That is before the existing contract expires. So to conclude, we think that the existing suppliers' performance is actually quite satisfactory and reliable in the past 3 years. And also the cost, because they are market leaders, so they can provide a stable cost. And also there are no major incidents or complaints in the last 3 years. And that Baguio also show a keen interest in renewing the contract with us. And then lastly, because of the risk mentioned before, it is our consent from all 3 departments to proceed with the signing of the new contract, of the renewal contract with Baguio, so that we can achieve the financial targets that's set by the management team. So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you.